In the moment, just before you fully wake, your body refuses you, eyes open, trying to move, but you can't. You take a breath, but a weight bears heavily on your chest. What is it? Thick, velvet night swallows the room, but you still sense it. Something gently grazes your foot. Your blood runs cold. You are not alone. Desperation claws at you, begging you to flee. Your body betrays you again, pinning you there. In the age of castle and steel, they called this a succubus. I'm your host, Melissa Nunez, and welcome to Kindly Cryptic, your source for all things strange, spooky, and unexplained. A demoness, a seductress. She comes not with claws, but teasing, tempting.
Succubus, a creature of the imagination.
And the concept wasn't fringe. The phenomenon was documented, debated, and dreaded by theologians across Europe. Texts like the Malleus Maleficarum, written by Heinrich Kramer, describes these entities in depth. Not metaphor, not fable, but fact. In these writings, succubi would visit men in the night while they lie sleeping, enticing them through fantasy, illusion, and caressing. Then extracting something for proof of their encounter. And after, they would change. Theologians argued the seductress could transform into an incubus, the demon's male form, and then use what was taken to impregnate women. The cycle, a desire turned into doctrine, intimacy into evidence, proof of the supernatural. But beneath the horror, there's something deeply human in the accounts. Erotic dreams and other experiences twisted in shame. So the church gave this force a face and a name, because at the time, it was easier to fear something than to understand it. While Europeans of the Middle Ages called her succubus, she was never confined to it. Across cultures, across centuries, she appears again and again. Different names, different faces. In Scandinavian folklore, she becomes the Mara. Sleepers wake to a weight on their chest, bearing down until dizzy confusion turns into panic. And in that terror, horrid thoughts and visions fill their head. That is why she appears in the very word we use for fearful dreams, nightmare. But she was never a dream. She was a visitor. And unlike the succubus, she does not seduce. There is no warmth. She is quiet and suffocating. She doesn't feed. She doesn't need to. The fear is yours. She only brings it to the surface. But whether through passion or terror, the succubus is always a woman who is desired, reviled, and blamed. Because these stories were never just about monsters, they were about control. About explaining why men felt shameful desire, why bodies react embarrassingly in sleep, and why death and intimacy so often seem intertwined. The succubus isn't just a demon. She's a reflection of fear, of repression, of fascination with what happens in the dark. Now I take you back to your waking dream, still frozen, chest still heavy, and still lingers a presence. This is where our dreaming mind takes over. This is what we refer to now as sleep paralysis, a state where the body is paralyzed from REM sleep, but the mind takes over. With this, people experience hallucinations, including touching sensations and seeing figures. Across cultures, people describe the same experience. In medieval Europe, a succubus. In Scandinavia, the Mara. In modern times, a neurological event, However, knowing that doesn't make it any less terrifying, because when it happens, what you see, what you feel, all seems real. The body reacts, the heart races, and in a world without science, that experience needed a story. So the mind created one, or perhaps revealed one that was already waiting. Understanding doesn't make the succubus disappear. Instead, she evolves. In books, shows, and movies, she is no longer a shadow. She takes on a role, an idea, and sometimes the story belongs to her. In the 2009 film Jennifer's Body, the succubus is reimagined as a teenage girl, possessed, hungry, and deadly.
I gotta go. I am a god. Okay.
But the story isn't just about horror, it's about power, rage, and control. Jennifer doesn't just seduce, she consumes, and she chooses.
You only murder boys.
I go both ways.
In The Monstrous Feminine, Barbara Creed analyzes horror archetypes, arguing that a woman's sexuality is often considered wicked or threatening, particularly in patriarchal cultures. What happens when those fears become real? When society's trepidation of her desire and power takes shape? As Needy put it,
Hell is a teenage girl.
in series like American Horror Story, succubus-like figures blur the line between victim and predator. They are tragic, complex, human in their monstrosity. Such as Moira O'Hara from Season 1 Murder House, she appears as temptation, something to be desired or feared. But beneath it, she is something else entirely, trapped, used, human, and condemned. To men, she appears young and seductive.
This is Moira O'Hara. She was the housekeeper for the previous owner.
Nice to meet you.
That's my cab.
To women, she is a thoughtful, elderly maid. Her life sentence begins after being sexualized, objectified, and ultimately killed. There is no power in seduction. It's a prison.
Come with me, baby. I want to, but I can't, Mother. I can't.
Creed suggests horror has a way of reshaping women into what is feared or desired until the line between the two disappears. They are often defined not by what they are, but by what is projected onto them. As Moyer says, I'm not naive to the ways of men, their need to objectify, conquer. They see what they want to see. Women, however, see into the soul of a person. In Castlevania Symphony of Night, the succubus doesn't just draw you in, she remembers. She becomes what you love and turns it against you. Disguised as Lisa, she manipulates Alucard's love and grief for his mother, weaponizing his memory, familiarity, and vulnerability.
Humans. You cannot live with them. You can only hate them, do them harm, release them from their pain. Begin with the ones who killed me.
No, you are not my mother. What kind of demon are you?
Creed argues that horror twists women's bodies, attaching terror and fear, especially in maternal forms. Here, the succubus abuses the nurture and safety that society associates with a mother, blurring the lines between comfort and violation. So what is a succubus? A demon? A dream? Or simply the brain misfiring in the fragile space between sleep and waking? Or is she something else entirely? Because when you slip away the wings, the claws, the theology, what remains is this: a figure born from the collision of desire and fear, pleasure and guilt, the body and the stories we tell about it. And whether she is real or imagined, people across centuries have sworn the same thing. She felt real. Her touch, her weight, her presence. So tonight, if you wake suddenly and the air feels heavy, you may wonder, am I alone? Maybe she's there, waiting for you to notice, close enough to feel, just beyond what you can see. Thanks for tuning in on another episode of Kindly Cryptic. If you enjoy all things strange, spooky, and unexplained, please follow for more.